Okay, hello students. We'll be looking at solving simultaneous equations graphically today. And you may be asking what simultaneous equations are. Now, this is a set of equations that are to be solved at the same time, right? Hence the word simultaneous. So therefore, we need to solve the two equations, and by solving an equation, we mean finding the value of the unknown. And as you can see in this question, we have two unknowns, x and y. So therefore we need to find what x is and what y is. But we're doing it using graph paper. Usually we would just use calculations, but now we're using graph paper. Now in order to solve on a graph sheet, we need to have lines for each equation. Now, if we're going to have lines on a graph paper, we need points. And in order to get points, we have to calculate them using the same equation. Now, this question tells us what the x values are, right? So that you're seeing there, that inequality you're seeing there, it's telling you that the x values are from 0 to 5. So it means that x is greater than, the value for x can be greater than or equal to 0, but less than or equal to 5. So x can be values from 0 to 5. Alright, so because we know that, we can go ahead and fill in our x values. Alright, so the first x value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so now because we already know this, we can use the same equation, y equal x minus 3, to find the y values for each of these x values. So it is saying to us that in order to find y, we have to subtract 3 from whatever x is. So in the first case, where y is equal to 0, it's going to be 0 minus 3. And that answer is minus 3, so we're going to put it there. Alright, next case, when x is equal to 1, 1 minus 3 is what y is, and that is negative 2. So after you've done the second one, you would have realized that we're going up by 1, so you can just fill out the rest. So after negative 2, then negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Alright, so now we have our points to draw the line y equal x minus 3. Before we draw the line, we're going to just work out the other table. For the other table, it's going to be the same. Y equal 5 minus x. We already know that our x values are from 0 to 5. Alright, so now this equation is saying to us that in order to find our y values, we need to subtract whatever x is from 5. So the first case is when y, let's just rewrite our equation. When y is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 5 minus 0, which is still 5. Next case is when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 5 minus 1, which is 4. So here we can see that we're going down by 1. So the next value would be 3, then 2, 1, and 0. Now we have our points to draw the line for the equation y equal 5 minus x. So now we're going to go ahead and plot on our graph. Excuse me. Now the first table is saying that when x is 0, y is negative 3. Remember that our y-axis is the vertical axis and x-axis is the horizontal axis. So when we look at x, it helps us to determine whether we're going right or left. When we look at y, it helps us to determine whether we're going up or down. Alright, so x is 0, and as you can see, the origin is 0. So if x is 0, we're not moving on the x-axis, but we're moving -3 on the y-axis, so we're going down. Just gonna use an x. So 0 to -3 would be there. Next point is 1 to -2. So 1 to the right and 2 downwards. One moment. It's not really accurate, but you can see it. Now 2 on x, so 2 to the right and 1 down. Okay. Now 3 on x and 0 down, so we're going 3 on the x-axis and we're not moving on the y. Next point is 4 on x and 1 on y. So we're going 4 to the right and 1 place up. Oops. Alright, the next point is 5 on x and 2 on y. Alright. So now my points aren't perfect because of the app that I'm using, but when you do it on your graph paper, please do it neatly. Now we're gonna connect the points to get a straight line. Alright, so that is the point. That is the line. Y equal x minus 3. Alright, next table. When x is 0, y is 5. When x is 0, y is 5, so we're going up 5. So we're not moving on the x, but we're moving 5 on the y. So we're going up 5 on the y-axis. Then when x is 1, y is 4. So 1 to the right and 4 upwards. Next, when x is 2, y is 3. Then when x is 3, y is 2. Alright, when x is 4, y is 1. That is already plotted from the first line. And the last one is when x is 5, y is 0. So we're moving 5 places on x-axis, 5 places to the right, and then we're not moving on the y. So it's going to be on the line. Now we're going to connect our line. Sure, it's black. Straight line. That line doesn't really look straight, but let's go again. Alright. Alright. Now that is it. So one line is the line y equal x minus 3, and the other is y equal 5 minus x. So now we are going to find our solution. Our solution to the question is right here, where the two lines cross. So we're going to go down to the x-axis and read off the x value. Then we're going across to the y-axis to read off the y value. So as you can see, the value for x is 4 and the value for y. So x is 4 and y is equal to 1. Alright, so please note that when you're doing these questions, you have to get a straight line. If you're not getting a straight line, it means that your calculation is off. Alright, so the point at which the two lines cross is the solution. That's what we're doing. So you cannot do the question without writing what x is and what y is. So go down to the x-axis, read off the value at the point where they cross, then go across to the y-axis and read off the y value. Thank you. I hope this video is helpful to you.